Okay, we're back. So I have a little different setup this time. I'm hoping that you'll be able to see what I'm doing a little bit better. I'm also going to try and talk and walk you through. This will be, I guess, in the beginning it's going to be a beginner tutorial for if you're just getting your feet wet with cold process or hot process. This is going to be cold process. Once we get the loaf kind of poured, then the piping and all these other things with the additives are going to be a little bit more advanced. So, you know, you can stay tuned, maybe learn a little bit, I don't know. But this is the first time I've actually let my oils sit overnight because, you know, waiting on lye and oils to kind of come to room temperature is murder sometimes. So I went ahead and did that. I took everybody's advice, and they're a little bit muddy. I microwaved them just a few minutes ago, and so they're at 85 degrees, plenty warm. You know, I normally keep them about 80. The lye is, I think, 72, so that's good. So right now, I got my piping tips out for later, because I got, for the first time, I think I have all my ducks in a row. I'm gonna be prepared, and because normally I get halfway through the batch and then decide that I forgot something like my fragrance oil, which is a favorite of me. I love forgetting the fragrance oil, and then I'm so mad at myself. So, okay, I actually even made little instructions for myself. So initially, what we're gonna do, here are my oils. I've melted them, mixed them together, etc. Here is my lye water solution. So it's really cold to the touch. What I'm gonna do is add it slowly to this batter and then stick blend it until emulsification, just over emulsification. I don't want to get a really thick trace because I have a fragrance oil here, and fragrance oils for me always speed up trace extensively, and then I wind up getting clumpy bars of soap and they fall apart in the shower, and it's just always a disaster for me. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and kind of hand mix it in there right now. We're going to get our handy dandy kitchen vibrator. As Tira Fay says. Oh, I love her channel, she's so funny. So I'm going to burp at the stick blender because I don't want to introduce any air into this, as little as possible anyway. It's not going to take much, so I'm going to pulse it once or twice and then stir it with the blender, or I actually like using this because, as you can see, let me move this a little bit. It's really heavy. This is a big batch. So I'm going to move it a little bit closer. I'm hoping you can see that. But as I'm stirring it from the bottom, you can kind of see where it's actually emulsified. There you go. And so I don't want to over mix it because, like I said, I want it to be as thin as possible. Because I am working with a vanilla fragrance, and I don't want to use a stabilizer because I haven't heard any good things about a stabilizer anyway, but I don't like adding additional non-natural products anyway. I have such skin allergy issues as it is that I just figured it's best to let the soap take its course. If it's going to be brown, that's fine. I've incorporated it into my design. It's going to be like, the fragrance is Wedding Cake by Crafter's Choice. Let me show this to you. So it's Wedding Cake by Crafter's Choice, and it smells like buttercream icing. It's amazing, FYI, but it does have a high vanilla content. Okay, this looks like that got it well enough emulsified, so we're good. We'll hit it a few more times just for good measure. Okay. So what I'm going to do, because I have piping and another little project going on, I'm actually going to have to get my scale and measure out what I'm removing to pipe, because it's got such a high vanilla content that if I add it to the entire batch right now and then try to pipe with it, the piping on the top is going to be brown, and I don't want it to be brown. I want the base to be brown, that's fine, the bottom of the soap, but I don't want the piping to be brown. I want it to be white. So, okay. Yeah, that's a pretty good consistency. It's getting there. It's getting thicker, so you can see it. Okay, yeah, make sure you can see it. Okay, so I'm just mixing it up. I put it in a little pill bottle because that was what was handy. So I don't want to add too much because I don't want glycerin rivers. I have done a little bit of a water discount, which will help with that. But I don't necessarily want them. So I don't mind them, but I don't necessarily want them. That's not the look I'm going for. We're gonna stick blend again just for a minute to get that incorporated. Oh yeah, that's great. And another trick that I kind of learned is that that might even have been too much titanium dioxide, but that's okay. So we're gonna do a drop swirl with that and also use it as the piping. So I don't want to make it too thick. So where is my scraper? Oh, here you are. Can never find what I'm looking for in the middle of soap making. I feel like I'm in a frantic race to get things done the way I wanted before before it all sets up. So anyways, let me go ahead and get that. But a little, like I was saying, a little trick that I kind of learned from, I think, another soaper. I don't actually know where I heard it, but if you just left the natural color, even though with this big batch, the one that's going to turn brown because of the vanilla in it, the fragrance is that it's got almost a transparent quality. So if you add just a little bit of titanium dioxide, it's still going to wind up being brown, the soap is, but it's going to be more opaque and, I don't know, more attractive, I think, to me anyway. So we just want to add a little bit. There you go. It's getting there. And like I said, I don't want to make it too thick. I'm just going to do a drop swirl. Nothing crazy, but I don't want it to be thick and clumpy. And once I add the fragrance oil, you never know what's going to happen. It could be fantastic. In fact, I think I did one in a decelerated trace, which I was like, wow, where did this come from? That's great. But yeah, the chances of that happening are not good. So, okay, that's getting a little thicker. So, yes, the titanium dioxide wants to speed things up too. So, we're gonna go ahead and just take that off because we don't need it super white. Okay, so now this one, I'm gonna add the, here we go, the moment of truth. I'm gonna add the fragrance oil. Almost the whole bottle because I want it to be strong, but it's well within suggested guideline limits. And as always, I'm not going to stick blend the fragrance in. I'm just going to stir it. Oh yeah, it's definitely gotten thicker immediately. And I don't know if you can tell, but immediately it's starting to get a different creamy color. This one has enough vanilla in it that it should be dark brown. So here we go. What I'm going to do is get it poured in the mold, tap it down, and then do a drop swirl. Oh, it smells so good. So good. Okay, so we have a good consistency there. And I should have got another spatula because I don't really want to, well, I'll just wipe it off with a paper towel. I don't really want to cross-contaminate, you know, the piping because I want the piping white. So here we go. We're just going to pour this in here because like I said, this is the part that's going to be dark brown. Dark brown. Chocolate cocoa color. Okay, and because I'm not going to swirl or anything on the top, I'm just going to go ahead and scrape everything out now. Oh, and I've got these cute little chocolate gumball embeds, and I'm going to do, for the first time, I'm going to add glitter to the top of the soap. Okay. We're going to tap that down. But my little, it likes to kind of come right away from the side, and it's all right. I just said didn't make too much of a mess. And here I am making a huge mess. Oh my gosh, just like me. Way to go, Gypsy Joe. So now this piping is also going to be, the bowl that I've set aside for the piping is also the bowl that is going to be used for the drop swirl. So I have to allot it properly. You know, I don't want to run out of piping. That would be terrible. So we'll see. And it is getting thick. It's thickening up. Oh yeah, it's still good. It's definitely thickened up. Okay, so let me show you the consistency. So it has thickened up. It's like a very loose pudding. That's about as thick as you want to get it before you start, excuse me, drop swirling it. Because any thicker and it'll just plop on the top. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold it as high up in the air as we can so we get a nice ribbon down into the soap, not sitting on top. Ooh. Oh, we're filling over. Oh man, it smells so good. I mean, I can't even tell you. The name of the fragrance is called Wedding Cake, but maybe once it's in the soap, I'll smell more cakey, but I've confirmed it with 2 or 3 people, and I used to work for a very prestigious candle company, and so I'm pretty good with fragrances. So this doesn't give me any notes of necessarily cake to where I would think like, oh, that's cake. It's just straight kind of like a sweet buttercream frosting, which I'm okay with. I love the bakery scents. So, A-okay with me. So, okay, what I'm going to do to be able to, see, I already have my pipe, I don't know if you can see down in there, I have my piping bag, my silicone piping bag, already set up in there in my cup so that all I have to do is stuff it down in there. And I got my coupler and my tip on there. I just have a wide round tip, the widest I have, because I want it to look like whipped cream or something, like a whipped topping. And that to me looks like, I think it would be the most natural. But I definitely do love the star tips. Okay, so we're gonna pull out the stick blender again to get the piping a little more thick, a little more quick. So we're just gonna burp that. We're gonna slide this to the side. That one's setting up perfectly fine. I think with the fragrance oil, it set up really good. So we want this to be a thick pudding because we want it to come out of the tip in the shape that we want. That's definitely too thin. Sorry about the noise. Okay, let's see. It's getting there. Another few seconds and we should be good. Because when I put it in my bag, if it's too thin, it's just going to run right out of the top. So this is the part where, unless you have experience with cakes and piping and things like that, you're not going to know what you're looking for, which I'm not an expert by no means. I bought this kit, this kit that came with a nice little case and 1 silicone bag and 2 couplers. That's everything you need to get started. And I think it was $9 or maybe $8, maybe $12. It was relatively cheap. And so what I did was I just started piping and trying it out and seeing what was going on. Initially, the first couple of times I tried to pipe, it was so thin that it was leaking out of the bag. I couldn't get it into the bag quick enough to keep refilling it. It was kind of comical. I would rather have it be just a smidge too thick than too thin. Yeah, that's too thin. Yeah, we're getting there. So what I like to do is, once it's at a thick consistency, pudding consistency, I go ahead and I just start scooping it in my piping bag, because by the time I get it in there, I'll be able to tell, you know, do a few squirts of, yeah, this is pretty thick. You see how it's thick on the stick here. So yes, it should be about ready. We're gonna scrape down. We don't want to waste anything. Okay. Yeah, it's still a little too thin for my, you know, preferences, but it's fine. It'll totally work, especially once we get the first row piped. By the time we get to the second, it should be perfect. And that's really where you need the thicker consistency, is on top, so that you get the height that you want. And then we'll probably have to do 2 bag fills. So right now we're just gonna scoop, ladle it in. Looks like marshmallow, thin marshmallow fluff. Okay, we're back. So my initial thought was, okay, for sure, we're gonna go ahead and put these on there while it's still relatively soft, the piping anyway. And we're gonna do 1 per bar. I'm a bad girl, I took my gloves off, but for the most part I'm not going to be touching any caustic soap. I really want to think that I'm going to get more than 7 bars out of here, but it's possible. I don't know. I don't necessarily want to stick another gumball on there. Yeah, we'll do 1 for a sample bar. I think maybe glitter and a drizzle would be sufficient. So unfortunately I don't have a shaky container yet, so I'm hoping that, oh yeah, that's perfect. I was like trying to avoid glitter at all cost, but here I am, and it is, wow, stunning. This is like bling bling. It smells like a slice of cake. It's gonna be amazing. Oh, thank you guys so much for coming with my journey. I'm gonna go ahead and let this cure for 18 to 24 hours. It's a pretty hard loaf, so then I'll bring you back for the cut. All right. Hey YouTube family, I'm back here. It's been about 48 hours. It was a little bit hard getting this out of the mold. And also when I initially started cutting, you can see here clearly defined that this color with the vanilla in it has started to turn dark brown like I anticipated, but it is not nearly as dark as what it will be. Let me show you what it will be. Up here is the color, the dark chocolate brown is what it will be. So I'm just gonna give you some cuts and see what they look like on the inside. And let me show you what, so the oxidation, which when it's in contact with the air, is what turns it brown. So this is what it looks like as soon as I started cutting it this morning. And I'm like, wow, what is going on here? But rest assured, it's gonna turn a dark brown. But how cool. I do love the drop swirl. It turned out great. It's amazing. Looks creamy. It smells amazing. One more here. Yeah, it's very hard. Oh, this one got a little swirly Q on the inside. That's cute. I like it. So this is just my end piece. So as you can see, it's already getting dark brown, but it matches perfectly with the melt and pour and the chocolate ball. I love it. This is gonna be my sample piece. But as you can see, just 12 hours ago that I cut this, and the color shift from the vanilla content from this to this, it's amazing. So I'll let you know in a couple more weeks. I'll take some pictures and updates, but here's the last one. I like the swirls in these. Very creamy, dreamy, beautiful. I love it. I'm super happy with it. The tops are beautiful, super sparkly and glittery. I wish you could see the glitter on here a little bit better, but it is what it is. All right, thanks for coming with me on the journey. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please put them down below in the comment section. As always, leave a thumbs up if you liked it, and like and subscribe. I'd very much appreciate it. All right, y'all take it easy.